What's up, guys? Back a little bit sooner than I thought I'd be just to talk about something. I wasn't sure I was going to do this or not, but, you know, here we are. So today, of course, is yet another massive reveal in what is going to be the beginning of a week of a ton of reveals because of what would have been San Diego Comic-Con. But today was literally the big one because we finally got the reveal of the Haslab Galactus figure. And I'm quite certain that most folks out there expected this. I mean, it was Fantastic Four, Haslab, how could it be anything else? A lot of people were saying Fantastic Car, but come on, they did a Sentinel. It makes perfect sense that we are going to get Galactus. And I think this thing honestly kind of blew away my expectations. I was really basing it on the Sentinel, just from sizing and overall features. But this thing's even bigger. And of course, it just has a lot greater presence because it's this one singular character, and I think it looks fantastic. It's 32 inches tall, and thankfully it's not too much more expensive than the Sentinel. The Sentinel was $350, Galactus is $400, which I suppose for those added 6 inches and then all of the added mass that goes along with making him half a foot taller, that's not too crazy. I was kind of surprised that the price didn't scale up a little higher. For better or worse, obviously $400 is still a huge chunk of change, but I'm really excited about this. I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. I instantly backed it right as soon as it went live. I'm among the early backers, I guess. But I think he looks great. He's got those crazy articulated hands, just like the Sentinel has, which I had kind of forgotten that the Sentinel's hands were all individually like knuckle articulated. So Galactus has that as well. And then we've got lights in the headpiece, and he just looks fantastic. It has some modern leanings, but it's obviously still a very normal Galactus in many ways. It's got that classic color scheme. He comes with 3 different faceplates. You've got kind of the stoic, the mad, and then the kind of the skull one, so like the Hungary one, where he's sort of gaunt and hasn't fed in a while, which I really like. I have to think they're going for folks that just have to display both, which is definitely not going to be me. I'm not going to have 2 Galactuses, Galacti in my display, but I do like the idea of having that third head or faceplate rather, to sort of show off the various modes and moods of Galactus. But what's really interesting about this particular guy is that right out of the gate, we don't have any info on what else is coming, and he has a very lofty goal. 14,000 backers just to fund him. By comparison, the Sail Barge was 5,000. The Sentinel was 6,000. Razor Crest was 6,000. What was the other one? Unicron, the one that I didn't get. Unicron is 8,000. So by all means, this is the biggest funded campaign that they're going for. As of this filming, it's around 4,000, so it's moving pretty steadily. We don't know any stretch goals yet, but I have a few theories and ideas because, again, he doesn't come with anything else except for those faceplates right out of the box. Whereas the Sentinel came with the tentacles and it came with Bastion, so you actually got a figure with the Sentinel. The Galactus doesn't come with anything. So I'm really curious to see what they're actually going to do with it. I have some thoughts that at the first, maybe the first get-go of the goals, we're going to have like some energy effects or some blasts, because how could you have a Galactus without having some sort of energy effect to go along with him? Like maybe a Kirby-style crackle to wrap around his hands, or of course an all-out blast would be really cool. Something along those lines. They did say in the live stream that the last stretch goal is like the most exciting and the one that they are the most hopeful that we achieve. So that's pretty curious. I know a lot of folks are really, really interested in the potential of building up heralds along with this, which I think would be pretty fantastic. No pun intended there. So Silver Surfer is obviously one that we've had recently, and then we had a reissue, or not a reissue, but a redo in some ways with the black one, so you could get a version, but neither of those are exactly plentiful right now. So are we going to get another chance, another shot at his most famous herald? There's plenty of others to pull from, like Morg, which would be really cool, or the Fallen one, or Airwalker, or Nova, the Frankie Ray Nova, that one. Terrax is one that I keep seeing a lot of folks mention because he is an older Build-A-Figure, and reissuing him could be a way to get him back out. But then again, they could also just redo him entirely because he is, of course, one of the more important of the Heralds. So I'm pretty excited to see if that's something we go down that road of, just to see how they're going to get those out. Because, of course, we did that with the female Prime Sentinel in the Sentinel funded campaign. So we got her as the third goal. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that action figures are going to be included in this. I'm hopeful that that's something that they're going to do because they have been leaning into the cosmic side stuff lately. We got that Thanos not too long ago. We are, of course, getting Walgreens whenever they finally arrive, exclusives in terms of just cosmic stuff. So the aforementioned Black Silver Surfer, Quasar, Nova. So we've got some stuff coming that sort of fills that niche, but there are some really specific characters that we are desperately lacking when it comes to building up any kind of Galactus-centric display. So yeah, I mean, I'm really excited about this guy. Like, obviously we knew he was coming just because what else could it have really been? There's not many options that really make a lot more sense at this scale and level of grandeur, and he does look pretty grand. I mean, the sculpt looks fantastic. They showed off some of his articulation, which looks to be pretty amazing as well. He's got some crazy ankle rocker down there. And I just think that this is going to be one of those that you have to get in on if you can afford it. Obviously, $400 is nothing to, turn up your nose at, but it's one that's going to be the sort of centerpiece of your cosmic collection, maybe of your Marvel collection in general. It's a half a foot taller than the Sentinel, so we know it has, I don't know if it has shelf presence, but it's got floor presence at the very least. I don't know what shelf it's going to go on in my house. But this thing looks absolutely amazing. I think they absolutely killed it in terms of aesthetics and just the overall design. But I'm really curious to see what we're going to get out of this thing, what goals they have in mind, because again, 14,000 is a lot. And that's not to say that it's unattainable, but as that first tier, that's a lot. Now, if the next tiers are 15, 16, 17, 18, if they're just 1K up each, maybe that's not such a big deal. But, the Sentinel broke 20, Razor Crest broke 20,000. So it's certainly likely that we're going to see those numbers. It is very interesting that they jumped the goalpost so much further than any of the other previous campaigns. But at the same time, this guy is, well, he's all new and he's enormous and he's massive and he is everything that a Galactus probably should be. I just really want to see what else is coming. I think he looks fantastic for the 50th time. I'm really curious to see who else is getting him. I mean, I know a lot of folks that I talk to online have already backed him, have gotten 1, 2, some cases 5, which just seems crazy to me. But this thing is going to be, one of those one-time only deal. If you want him, now's the chance to get him. Again, 14,000 backers needed, or 14,000 units needed. We've got a $400 price tag. That includes shipping as well, so that at least helps in some ways. And then you've got until August 30th to get your order in, and then you get charged on the next day. So you don't get charged until this funds, just like any other kind of Kickstarter thing. So you don't have to worry about having the cash right now if you need a couple weeks to get it. Now is the time to start offloading some toys that maybe you don't need anymore. So yeah, guys, I'm really excited about this. As I'm sure everybody could have imagined, this is exactly the kind of thing that's right up my alley. I love the cosmic side of Marvel. It's like X-Men and then Cosmic Marvel for me, just sort of tie it all together. So let me know if you guys are backing him or if you're planning to, and if you are, how many are you going to back, and what do you want to see as these stretch goals? I'm all in for effect parts, and then I'm all in for some heralds. Even if they want to do his daughter Galacta, throw her in as well. I would love to have that, as ridiculous as that seems. So that's it, guys. I'll catch you next time.